Prime time in Boulder. So things have been going good for Dion, but there have been some bumps in the road as we've seen primetime take over the Colorado Buffaloes program. So we saw a crazy spring game. I know you guys have seen the visual of the 2022 spring game side by side with the 2023. And we won't be the first to say it, but remarkable turnaround, especially for a 1-11 team to bring that many fans out to see what they're bringing. But again, we knew Dion brought his Louis bag. We know he brought a couple of his Louis duffels. So we knew the talent was going to be there. But one thing that stuck out in particular, Montana Lemonious-Craig had a monster, I mean, a monster spring game. 3 catches, 150 yards, 1 touchdown, and yet a day later, he enters the transfer portal. So, Deb, I got to know, what are your thoughts on this? Is this any implication of what we might see more of to come with the Colorado Buffaloes program? Is it any implication of Dion and his leadership with the program? What are your thoughts on it?
No, good question. I don't think this really has anything to do with Dion's leadership. Actually, yes, it does, because he's creating an environment that's hyper competitive, and so if you can't stay in the kitchen, get out. Like, you can't stay in the kitchen, get out. And so, to your point, Montana Lemonious-Craig, that's how you pronounce his name, right?
I believe so, yep.
Lemonious-Craig. 3 receptions, 154, 2 touchdowns. He snapped. Like, he went off. But then just a day or so later, he enters the portal. He entered the portal because, let me go to this list here that I have up on my screen. And there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 incoming wide receivers that are going to give him a run for his money, right? So you got Jimmy Horn Jr., who is the son of Joe Horn, 4-time Pro Bowler that played for the New Orleans Saints, right? You got him coming in from USF.
Mm-hmm.
Got Willie Gaines from Jackson State coming in. You got Travis Hunter that's there.
Yep.
You got Xavier Weaver, who also is coming over from University of South Florida. So the competition is just insane for this guy. And so he felt the heat. He couldn't stay in the kitchen. He decided to hop off in the portal. So I love the idea of a transfer portal, especially for Deion Sanders, first-year coach, being able to pull talent from the portal, and be able to already have a product that he's been able to see play at the college level and pull them in, right, to come into their university. The problem I have with the portal is that it's not making athletes competitive. Like, the level of competition is starting to lessen because now players are saying, you know what, I'm not going to start. Let me go ahead and go to another university where I probably can start and have those conversations with the coaches behind the scenes to guarantee me a starting spot. That's not how you move up the ranks. Candidly speaking, that's not how life works. It doesn't work like that. You gotta put in the work, most of us, to get the desired outcome that you desire, right? And so if you continue to skip the in-between and just hop up here, you're never going to have the opportunity to appreciate the in-between. So I hope that, he lands in an ideal situation. Again, stellar game. I just wish that he would have potentially stayed and just see what Dion and the coaching staff had in store for him before jumping to conclusions that he wasn't going to start. But that's just my opinion. Maybe that's not the reason why he transferred, but I'll just hand it off to you and tell me, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I think, we don't know the background. I did see uh, MLC with the number 15 on in the spring game, and I believe he wore number 1 last season. So it might have been an issue with, this whole mantra that you got to earn your number. It could have been a number of different things, but the bottom line is that, as you mentioned, life is not a straight and narrow path. There's ups, there's downs, there's highs, there's lows, there's ebbs, there's flows. The reality of it is running from situations isn't going to make life any easier. In this case, there's a duality of maybe it was a good decision for him to leave. There might be a better opportunity, regardless of Dion being the coach, regardless of the hype around Colorado and the excitement. This is still a team that went 1-11 last season, and I've been a huge, uh, you know, I've kind of put the caution out there. People are getting really excited. The Pac-12 is top heavy. I don't see this team going from 1-11 to 10-3. I don't see them being a college football playoff team. And I'm not saying that we've seen that across the board, but I think some people feel like that's a possibility. It takes time to turn a program around. If Dion gets 5 wins next season, that is a good season, considering they were 1-11 last year. Regardless of how many transfers you have, it's a process. So maybe MLC said, you know what? I don't think that this new regime is going to be able to turn things around. We're still going to be sorry. I want to go somewhere else and play. That could be a piece of it as well. It's interesting. I think from a strategic standpoint, the guy went out, had a big spring game because he knew people would see it. It was all over Instagram, all over the news, a lot of his highlights. So it gave him an opportunity to showcase himself on what was a national level, which Colorado hasn't played in prime time and I don't know how long. So smart move on his part to wait until after the spring game, but yet to be seen whether it was a smart move to leave the program.
Yeah, fair point.
As always, we need to know what you think in the comments. It's not just about what Dub and I think, but we here to, politic and talk with you guys. Give us that CLS treatment, comment, like, subscribe. We'll be back with more from in the arena.